Hello, welcome back to another how-to video for Rolemaster Classic using Dakadin's updated rule set on Fantasy Grounds Classic. Today I'm going to talk about the combat tracker. Quite a lot of Rolemaster specific things on that. Combat tracker, you launch it by using the two crossed swords in the top right. What it does is it manages your combatants, obviously in a fight, but you can use it to roll some moving maneuvers and movement, look at effects, does your attacks, your defense, and also the GM can use it to target and work out space and reach. So I'm just going to clear it, so I'll show you one thing how to clear a combat tracker. Menu, delete, and you can do two things here. You can delete the non-friendlies. Now the friendlies here are the greens, and the reds here are the hostiles, but you could have also in the middle the neutrals. So if you delete the foes, it will delete all the reds. If you delete non-friendly, it deletes reds and yellows. So I'm just going to delete all the non-friendlies, which does the same as delete foes in this case. I've just sandwiched this in here because a part of the delete is you can actually right-hand click on an entry in the combat tracker and just choose delete combat tracker entry. And also when I did that I thought, oh, I've never said anything about creating your own combat tracker entry just from scratch, just by clicking that and filling in the relevant details. Right, carrying on. If you need to find information about your combatants, it's the red icon here at the end. We've got two PCs here, Bob and Virula. The previous videos have shown you how we created those, how we leveled those up. How I didn't add hits them in that level up video though, dear oh dear. So Virula's gone from a paltry 8 to a massive 14 hits. So again, she gets hits, she's going down. When you're using combat, always drag your tokens from the combat tracker onto your map or image. Don't drag them direct from NPCs or from encounters. It won't link them to the combat. Always from the combat tracker onto the map. Let's add an encounter. I'm going to go to encounters here. I'm going to go to the Llamas encounter. I'm going to click on the add encounter to combat tracker. And I'll put them all onto the combat tracker. Bob and Virula are exploring a temple at the moment. So I double click on Bob's token at the moment. That should open any active map they're part of. And here we are, part of this one. By saving thrower, DeviantArt. Resize it, like you've seen in a previous video. Right hand click, resize, small. Use the control key to get it to a reasonable size. So I should say control key with the left hand mouse button to get it to a reasonable size. Quick little shortcut for you as a GM. Just move this out of the way. Down the bottom here, you've got the factions. You could drag all the greens on, but I'm going to drag all the reds on. And wherever I drop them, it'll add it in a diagonal from that point. And then you can just pull them to where you want them to be. So a horrible trap has been sprung. These creatures, quite powerful compared to two level 2 characters. They've all got a real fight on their hands. Let's just pull this combat tracker into position a second, just to be able to show you some of the stuff on the menu. So, start with rest. If we give some damage here to Bob, give him 40 points of damage. And we'll give Virula that she's used all her power points here. So there was 4 used. Let's make sure 8 and even a spell out are gone. If you go to the menu and rest, for every hour rested, 1 hit point comes back. And if it's 8 or more hours rested, they get their power points back. So let's just do a 4-hour rest. So all that should happen is Bob's damage should go down to 36. It does. Let's do a 12-hour rest. It says here, look, rest. 12 hours, 12 hits, all exhaustion and PP recovered. So let's just do that. 12-hour rest. 12 hits back. And everything that was used for the power points and spell arrow is back again. You can force it as well by going to rest, remove, and remove what you want. The hits and power point, the power point, or the hits. So let's just give all the hits back. What else on the menu? Showing you delete. So we've done delete. Reset to round 1. So at the moment we're on round 11 where I practiced something before. So just click on that, reset to round 1. There we go, back to round 1. Also, should a player be using this combat tracker and they can't see any of these 4 icons, they'll never be able to see the first 2, because that's a GM only, but they might lose contact to these things, not be able to click on them. In that case, you just go to Menu, Update PC Ownership, and that should refresh it for them. Last part of that is initiative. We play on our Friday actual plays, we roll initiative every round, but I know other players just roll initiative once at the beginning of combat and go through into the end, not rolling again. Up to you how you do that. So you go to initiative, few options, roll everybody's initiative, roll the NPCs, roll the PCs, or clear them all. So 2620, clear, roll to the initiative, roll everybody's initiative, everybody's in initiative order now. Now that's a 2d10 initiative with quickness. You can go to GM options here, go to combat GM, and where it says dice used for initiative, you can use the core d10, d100, open-ended, high, low, up to you what you want to use. Now how you work your way through a round, we're in round 1 at the moment. Click on next actor. A helmet appears on the combat actor. You'll see in the actual chat box whose go it is. It says unidentified creature 4. We'll identify these in a little while. And you then just go through next actor, next actor, next actor as they take their turns. When you get to the end, you can go to menu, initiative, roll all inits, and click on next round, and off you go again. If you don't roll initiatives every round, you can just go next actor, next actor, next actor, get to the very last one, and carry on with next actor. Goes to round 3. Now, because we roll initiative every round, a nice little thing to do is go to options, go down to turn, stop at round start. So we click on that, put it on. Now when you go next actor, next actor, next actor, next actor, next actor, next actor, at the end of the round, if you do next actor, the helmet doesn't go to anybody. This is a good clue for the GM to go, oh, hang on, everybody roll your initiatives. We'll roll them for you. And then next actor, off you go again. Now I should say, for example, Bob wants to hold his action, and you carry on through the round until something happens, and Bob wants to now take his turn, you can just drag the helmet back up to Bob. Let it go, and it's Bob's turn again, and then you carry on later on where you wanted to go from. Now I'm just going to put this back onto Bob for a second. Let's close that down. Let's make everybody visible now. You can do it per token with the eye, or you can do all of them by show hide. So look at the map behind, you can see these 3 are hidden. Show hide all, they're all able to be seen. And IDs, you can do ID by creature type. So these are all the warriors, and this one's the leader. Also you notice a little tick appears as they've acted in the round. Llama Warrior has a go. On to Llama Warrior 2, you should see a tick appear in Llama Warrior 4. There you go. Now, I'm just going to go back up to Bob. Right, let's talk about some of the stuff you can see on the combat tracker. These toggles up here, only the GM can see. And this is because things can get a little bit hectic after a while with all the, say, all the attacks open, all the defenses. If you want to just clean things up quickly, just go to the category toggle, for example here, the attack. Click on that and that'll collapse or expand all of those particular category types. Let's go through the columns. So you know about that, you know about a name. This is initiative, so you can roll initiative. Double click on the initiative box for each particular combatant. Just roll their initiative. Activity percent. This is a manual field which will reduce by 100 every round. Good for things like spell prep, firing a bow. So for example, say you had a bow which needed 120% activity for a fire and a reload. You just scoot through Bob a second. Next round, let's not bother rolling initiative, so next round has happened. Next actor, Bob does his business. Now down to 20. Maybe he's reloading again. Now at 140, and you can track it like that. What else we got up here? We've got PP, so power points. If you see these chains, they're linked to particular stats. Most of them you won't be able to type into, but some you can. Like damage, for example, is linked to a character sheet where you can put damage. Let's double click on Bob. Oh, let's click on the red thing for Bob. You can see here we can put his damage in here. That's why it's linked to that. But also, that's a freeform text field as well. As you've seen, we can type things in there. So here we've got power points that they have, spell adders they have, how many power points they've used, how many spell adders they've used, how many hits they have, how much damage they've taken. This shows them the faction they belong to, 3 of them, friendly, hostile, neutrals, and then what they can see. As a player, they only see these 4 here. Move and exhaustion, attacks, defense, effects. GM, they get these 2 here. Targeting, space and reach. Let's do some of the GM type stuff. Go to targeting here for Bob. 3 things they can do. Can drag this onto a new target, so just drag this. It's going from Bob onto this one here, Llama Warrior 10. You'll see now that Llama Warrior 10 is highlighted. If I was to collapse that category, you'd see it's Llama Warrior 10. You can clear targets. And also, if you have something selected, you can send to the chat window what range that target is at. So if we do that, you'll see in the target there that he's 32 feet away. It's very precise, and actually that doesn't always tie up with what the arrows say on the map. So if I hover over Bob, for example, even though it says 32 in the chat, you'll see it's 40 away. It's just the way it's measured. Up to you which way you take. We've never used the send to chat. We always use just the arrows. So it's up to you what you want to do, as long as your GM sticks to it for everybody. Let's clear that target. Collapse that. Looking at space and reach, let's say that Llama Warrior 10 here is going to close all the attacks. Go to space and reach for Llama Warrior 10. If we look at this, he or she takes up 1 square and has an influence around 1 square each, like 5 foot, 5 foot. But if you did this with a space of 10, you see now that it takes up all of this amount. We say that Llama Warrior might have a spear because of a reach of 10. Hover that over, you've now got a much bigger area of influence. Let's put it back to 5-5. So those 2, only the GM can see. Let's move on to the first one that the PCs can see, which is move and exhaustion. Quite a lot going on here. A lot of stuff taken from the character sheet, armor type, the missile penalty from the armor, defensive bonus, any moving maneuver penalty, what movement they can cover, what pace you want them to cover, when you choose the pace, what difficulty it is, what's the potential distance they could move, if you make an MM, how much space they have left, what's the maximum they can move, what did they move, what penalty do they have to activity, and here is exhaustion. So let's just go through a little bit slower for those. You know about these if you know Rolemaster. For MM, that's for moving maneuver rolls. Show you an example. So running at -15, wants to do something, go to the plus minuses for your modifiers. So it's an easy maneuver. Double click. Up comes the table resolver. Let's right hand click and resolve that. And there you go, you've got the movement maneuver table saying that that was 80%. Okay, just going to clear that stack. Close that down again. Move, that's all about movement, so that's all linked to the pace. So he wants to do it, very good for, say, a combatant who wants to charge. So let's say they were doing a run. That means they've now got a difficulty of easy, a potential of moving 140 feet if they do 100% MM. So let's roll that MM for them, which is not this one, but the move one. Double click. Remember, it's difficulty easy. It's taken, if you look at chat down here, it's taken it as easy. 83. Right hand click, resolve. Excellent. Got to 100. So if we type in here 100, which is done, but let's assume they messed up. Maybe they only got 60% done. Well, that'll automatically calculate then to say, well, they can only do a maximum 84 feet. Well, then how much distance did they cover? Well, if they covered 42, hopefully you know, that's half the distance, so they should take a 50% activity penalty. So 42, 50%. If you double click on that, look, appears down here in the modifier. So you might run and try and do an attack. Let's make a quick fake attack here. Hand axe 71. Now, I'm going to show you something quite neat as well. Let's just close that out of the way so you know. I haven't actually physically moved him to Llama Warrior 10. I'm going to make an attack anyway. Look how clever this is. I can do things here. I can drag it on Llama Warrior 10. Llama Warrior 10 or target as normal. But I'm just going to use the combat tracker for this. Bearing in mind, it's not right beside him, so how am I able to hit them? I'm not. Look down in chat. It's made a ranged attack. So this is less than 25 feet, so it's a -30 attack. How clever is that? Right hand click, resolve. Still uses the hand axe table. Armor type 3, 42 would be a miss. That's quite neat. Look on here. The move activity's been taken off it. So clearly you wouldn't have both. And quickly here I can change these. So let's say because they'd ran and charged, they didn't need to make a ranged attack, and just take that out. Still a miss though. Pretty cool, pretty neat. Right, close those down. That's quite nice. So let's get rid of all that kind of stuff. Put it back to pace. Get rid of the attack. What haven't I covered? The exhaustion. So if you want to use exhaustion, I've said this in a previous video, go to options, down to character GM, and you've got all the exhaustions here. So automatically track, yes, go on then. Multiply based on damage, so the exhaustion rate goes up as they take damage, and then whatever penalty if they want to take it. Let's have a look then. So stick this on. Oh, by the way, I've got other options. We've shown this before. So making attacks brings your exhaustion up. So let's do an attack. Let's move him close. Charges out. Makes an attack. This time it's making an attack. This time we're dropping it on the token in the map. Well done. Resolve. Oh, it's a really good hit. It's a C crush. This isn't a combat simulator, but they just drag that onto 10. Right hand click, C. Roll the attack damage. Sorry, the critical damage I should say. 26, a bit paltry, but enough to stun it. Come back to that in a little while. How does it go? Next actor. Then off they do, having their attacks. I'm not going to bother re-rolling initiative at the moment. Then it has another attack. Otherwise, getting all these free attacks. Don't worry, Lamra Warrior 10 will help you out in a minute. Drop it on Lamra Warrior 10s. Well, actually, in this case, I'll just flick those away somewhere. Look, the target's in there. So I've shown you being able to target by dragging dice onto the name, dragging the attack dice onto the map, and this time it's just targeted, so you can just double click on them. Or drag and drop into the chat window. Either will do. Resolve that. 7 hits. Next actor. Now look at exhaustion. It's now tracking. Made 2 attacks. So exhaustion is now tracking at 0.03. You can check that as well on the character sheet. There it's there. Right. Let's heal you. And close that down. So that's movement for the players. Next is attacks, which we've shown you a bit of already. You can have a look at the attack that you set up. I need that in a minute, so I'll put that there. What type of attack is it? And then the multiplier. This is the hits multiplier, so maybe he's got an amazing hand axe. I actually don't need that, I want the hand axe. Edit. Go down to where it says hits multiplier. 2 times damage. So now if he's hitting Warrior 10 and doesn't fumble, now if he's hitting Warrior 10, take 2. Right hand click resolve, 15C crush. So you think, well, that hasn't doubled it. Well, it does. Watch when I start dragging it across to Lamra Warrior 10. 15 becomes 30. Drop it in, C crush. Off you go, give the C crush. Right, let's change the hand axe back again. Multiplier down to 1. Close that. What are these? Well, this just shows you your offensive bonus and what you're attacking with the offensive bonus, because this can reduce if you're parrying, which we'll show you in a little while how to parry. This is what table you're using, so you can just drag it. So you could drag, say, the composite bow table to the table resolver, which is a hand axe. Drop it in. It's now a combo. Pretty neat. This notes field, it'll take anything that applies in the creatures and treasures in the notes field. For example, same round attack, or attack follows the one previous. What else? Well, we've shown you targeting, and we've shown you how to send the range to the current target. Next, defense. So I'll probably need both those open to show you this properly. Oops, pop the helmet back to Bob a second. Right, any good warrior will want to set parry, unless there's exceptional circumstances, like for example, being horribly outnumbered. Get rid of your table resolver. Let's set your parry. So look at here, we've got a hand axe, 71. How much parry in there? Say 35 into that. Automatically reduces that, so you're now attacking with 36 OB, but 35 going to the parry. If you have someone targeted, that's who the parry will apply to, and the full shield. If you want to apply all attackers, or you don't have a target at the moment, you can just tick that, all. So that means the parry will apply to all. Probably not necessarily going to happen, because you only parry against one target normally. And the full shield might apply to anyone who's attacking, so you can do that. So if you just drag Lamra Warrior 2 up here, and go to Lamra Warrior 2, make an attack with Lamra Warrior 2, what should happen is when we make the attack, the bite attack here, the shield should apply, but not the parry, because we haven't got them targeted, if I've set it up correctly. Let's see. So drag, drop onto Bob. Let's have a look at a little resolve, see what's happened. Had a defensive bonus and the full shield has applied, but there's nothing to do with parry here. Should then Llama Warrior attack, then hopefully the shield applies and the parry. Go to attack, drag the dice, drop it onto Bob, right hand click a resolve. There, look, we've got a parry, defensive and a full shield. Shrugs off those attacks. So just make sure we know this. Defense is the defense type. We told you about that. That tells you how much you're taking from melee and how much this will contribute against missile attacks, how much will be taken away from it. Right, so just collapse these again. Fight, fight. Defense, defense. That leads us on to the last one the player can see, which are effects. So we have a look here at Bob. No effects at the moment. But Llama Warrior 10 has an effect at the moment because I ran a little fake attack and got a broken rib. Just go to effect for that one. As a GM, I could just remove this by going delete, confirm the delete, off the effect goes. You can make custom effects, just go up here to the effects, click on that, and I've set one up with stun. How I did that was brown icon, push the green, and then ask you, okay, what do you want? What do you want to call it? How long is it going to go for? Is it going to be for a round, a minute, an hour, a day? Can the players see it or not see it? But let's just delete this a second. So players can see this lasts for a round, a duration of 4. I can just drag it to anybody who's been stunned. So here you go, sorry, he's now been stunned. Very good for, say for example, someone's hit by something like a stun cloud. So you failed and lost 4. Now go down to here, you've got a 3-round stun, drag onto you, Llama Leader, you've now got a 3-round stun. Oh, you've got a 1-round stun. Drop it onto you, Llama Warrior 7. There you go, we've now got stun, and a stun on all these. Pretty cool. What do these mean? Okay, so this can be active at the moment, or it can be skipped for a round, or it can be inactive. Can everybody see this, or just the GM? Is this applying to all roles? One action? One roll? Or just once only? We know about that. Duration, you can edit that there. This one is the initiative to act on. So when you're not rolling initiatives, this will stay fixed at 33 in this case. That's when that happens. But you can change the number, so if you want that to always apply on a particular initiative order, say, I don't know, 10, or maybe 0 for the end of the round, then if we go through the rounds here, let's have a look here. We've got a stun with duration of 4. Let's have a look at these ones, duration 29 and 29. So where are we at the moment? So initiative 35 at the moment. Next actor, 34. Next actor, 30. We should now see, notice that didn't go down because it's on 0. This now 29, we're at 30, so when we go down to here, that shouldn't really change. And we're still on 30, so only when we change here to 29 should these now be reduced by 1. And there you go, stun effect gone here, down to 2. And this hasn't changed at all. Initiative 29, 23, 29, 23. Click on again, that should hopefully take us to initiative 0. Now, there you go, 3, and then next round, back up to 35 again. If you're rolling initiatives, by the way, that will change these numbers to 1 less than the initiative that they're on at that point, just to keep things together, because sometimes you get hit by a stun twice or not at all. So, or sorry, effect twice or not at all, that particular round. So I'll just show you, menu, initiatives, roll initiatives. Have a look, you can see it's on 0 and 29 at the moment, roll them all. Now gone to 34, which is 1 less, and 27, which is 1 less than 28. What's left with effect? Let's create an effect for Llama Leader here, just on Llama Leader. This one's called Llama Vid, some kind of disease. And it's a duration of 12 rounds. What you can do is you can drag this. I can drag onto a new target. Just go to this. Do it either by dragging onto something on the target. So Llama Warrior 2 is now being targeted with that. Or you can drag here and just do it to say Llama Warrior 10. And 2 of them are now targeted with that particular effect. Maybe not necessarily a disease, might be good for something like a bless or a protection spell, something like that. Protection sphere. Right, but let's get rid of that one. Confirm, delete, yes, gone. If I collapse this, it's a much more easy readable way. Right, so we've shown you really then, I think, everything you need to know. We've shown you how to, last two things, notes I've got here is to show you how to drag effects, but we did that already when we did the stun by dragging it on there. And then applying damage and criticals, and we've shown you that in the course of this video. So I think we're done here. So I'll catch you in the next video. I think that's the advanced fight one, so that's going to take a little bit of prep. But I'll catch you then. Cheers, bye.